Hi and welcome.
Hi.
This is my friend Miloš. He runs his own bicycle shop, which is awesome. The shop is called Bike Team, and I will put the link to that shop in the video's description. So if any of the viewers are coming to Novi Sad, to Serbia, that's a pretty decent bike shop. That's if I were not able to fix my own bike, where I would ask my bicycle to be serviced. Perhaps even pay for it. We'll see. And today we want to talk about cheap tools, primarily from China. And what I mean by that, to be more specific, there are some angry taxi drivers outside. That's noise. So far, no shooting. It's all good. For now. I will let my friend with camera know when he needs to duck. Okay.
Give him a vest.
Okay, so no more dead jokes. What I mean to say is that primarily I mean tools from Aliexpress and TEMU. If you haven't had experience with those companies, Miloš and I, because we are poor, we have ordered a certain amount of tools for cheap to see if we can use some cheap tools and get the job done. And we have some experience from that. And so, because everyone knows that you can buy Nipex pliers and Vessel or Vera screwdrivers and have good results. There's not much wisdom in that, but the problem is when your budget is low for whatever reason and you need to get the job done, can you get something cheaper and still get the job done? Some tools are very cheap, Chinese, and completely useless, and they don't get the job done, but some can work. So I will ask Miloš to share some general guidelines and sort of rules from his experience of what kind of tools it makes sense to buy on the cheap from China and what to avoid.
Thank you. Tools that I buy from the TEMU or AliExpress, it's basically some tools that it doesn't have too much moving parts. It's a basic
simple tools.
Simple tools, yes. This is not simple tool, but it's now here and we're gonna test it. This is, I can say, basic tool. It's simple. It's for hydraulic hose.
For fitting,
placing
fittings on hydraulic hoses. English is not our native, so apologies in advance.
It's not bad. It's not bad for the price, of course, and it's get the job done.
You can cut the hose.
Yeah, you can cut it.
Install.
The blade is replaceable. You can replace this pin here, and it's solid metal. So,
what is the price?
About 20 euros.
20 euros, $20 roughly.
Yeah.
Roughly. I will try to Google and see. Jaguar has a tool for this use. They have a separate tool for cutting hoses and separate tool for fitting the ends. But I think their tools are about $50 a piece.
Yes, and Jaguar is plastic.
Yes, it's all plastic. It's not metal. But to be fair, I have had good results with Jaguar, and it is quite durable, I must say that. You can buy spare cutters and parts, but this is it works for both of those tools in one, and it's still a fraction of a price. And for someone who works as a hobby mechanic, so one replacement of hoses per year perhaps, or fewer. If they have only one bike, then it's even fewer, once every 5 years or so.
Yeah, maybe.
Then it probably makes sense to consider buying something cheaper. And this particular model, I will try to make a separate topic on my forum BikeGremlin.net related to this video. And if we don't forget, we will put links to these products on AliExpress and TEMU. This is nothing sponsored. Nothing paid, no affiliates even. Unfortunately, we will never get rich. just to share information if it helps anyone else, and that's the whole point of this video. We did make a version in my native where I did show some tools that I got for free from TEMU to get an advertising for TEMU in return. And that's basically the how do I say, they wanted me to present the tools and they sent me those tools for free. But this video that we're making in English has no sponsorship, no strings attached in any way. And even that video in my native, we just said what we mean and showed the pros and cons. And if the guys from TEMU don't like it, they will not send us any more tools, and the same goes for any other tool manufacturer, and that's okay. So that's what we will try to do in this video in English, to show what you can get at cheap money that's good and what to avoid, basically.
I just want to say that this brand has the metal version and the plastic version. And the plastic version is a half price.
So about $10, €10.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can even go cheaper. So Milos has a very busy, very good bicycle shop, and you did use this.
Yeah,
so it
pretty
works
much,
okay.
pretty much.
So
No problem for now whatsoever.
okay. Now another thing that was impressive for me is this set that he got for bleeding hydraulic brakes. And what can you say about this?
It's very good set. It was cheap, but it's not bad quality. So I bought the first set with metal adapters for the different brakes, and they was really good. Then next year I bought the whole set when you get those, how you call
syringes,
it?
high quality syringes, decent
Yeah.
quality, they look good, they work good.
And all this, and that was some ridiculous price and very good. But this new set is with plastic adapters, but you have to choose between plastic and metal adapters when you buy.
There is an option to order right away with higher quality syringes and metal adapters.
Yeah, I bought.
And it costs a couple of euros, some ridiculous price.
Yeah.
A couple of dollars.
Now I bought with plastic because I already have the metal ones.
Yeah. So you saved $1, half the price. So it's ridiculously cheap, and it seems to work quite well in a busy bicycle shop. So that's for me, that's the ultimate test, because I more and more when you work. Let's short just a story about hobby tools. When people want to save money, they buy tools that are marketed as hobby tools. There are two kinds of hobby tools. There are those like this. I would call these hobby tools. I'm not sure what this type of tool is called in English, but picks. So this will not last a very long time in a busy bicycle shop. So you can see this one is getting dull, but they are getting the job done. And so if you use them only occasionally, they will work for you, but you will not be able to give this to your grandchildren. That's one type of hobby tool. A different type of hobby tools are tools that are cheap but don't work very well even when you use them once. And those kinds of tools are very bad and very dangerous for hobby users because they don't let you get the job done, and they make it more difficult for you to learn how to work, because if your tool is giving you problems and you don't have enough knowledge and experience, then you're not sure, is my tool the problem or am I doing something wrong? So your learning curve is steeper, so to speak, and those tools are working against you. So it's an awful way to save money. Those are two kinds of hobby tools that are completely different. One is awful, the other one is okay. If you cannot afford anything better, it will get the job done. Another short just digression for high quality tools, when you take them in your hand and the satisfaction you get from working with good quality tools, that has some value. And if you can afford, I would always, at least that's what I do, there's no more honest recommendation than that, I always try to go with high quality tools. But I do need to save money, I don't have a lot of money, and for many cases I go with cheaper tools, and then I look for what gets the job done with minor drawbacks, but not in a sense that they prevent you from working well. So do Milos have any corrections or anything to add?
No, I agree with you.
I paid him to say that. Okay, now let's do we discuss this one? This is a complex tool from TEMU.
This is the newest tool I bought a few days ago, and it's complex tool. It's a
Torque wrench.
And it was not expensive, about €20, $20.
Yeah.
And we tested it. Its precision
It was very precise.
Yeah.
We tested it at 6 Newton meters. Didn't do a calibrated test or anything, but ballpark values are good. Nothing more you need for bicycle service. We just need to test how well it will fare for long-term use.
should
stay
time,
calibrated.
next year or year
Yeah,
after
yeah.
that. And
So it doesn't look too
first
too
impression is great. It's great. It's very good. First impression is very
Mhm.
good, but we'll see in time.
My only, for example, for this model, my only complaint would be the scale that's not very intuitive, because it has 2.5 Newton meter differences in marks, and then the rest is drawn on this scale. So it's not very easily visible and it's not very intuitive. But this tool costs literally 10 times more, and it is intuitive, but it's not easy to see. There is a new version of this tool that has bigger marks, so I haven't bought it, I haven't tested it. It's a huge amount of money for me to pay, and maybe I'll never buy the new version, but everything has its pros and cons and limits, and nothing is perfect, and so this should get the job done.
So didn't we?
Yeah, from 5 Newton meters to 25
25, yeah.
range. So ideally I would hope and look for a tool that has a range from 1 or 2 Newton meters to 10 to 15, and then get a bigger torque wrench for the higher torques, and from 10 to say 60, and that should cover the bicycles. But this is not bad for most stuff that start from 5 Newton meters, like stems and similar. It should get the job done, and it doesn't look too bad. I must say that it's very cheap. It's calibrated only for tightening torque,
Yeah.
but for those torque values you usually have right-handed threads. Only bottom brackets and some other exotic stuff have the left-handed thread, pedals and similar, but for that you need higher torques anyway. So if you're getting the bigger torque wrench, then you need to look for those that are calibrated in both tightening and loosening, or
You think
right
this
and
is not
left-handed.
that?
It can work, but it's not calibrated for unscrewing, at least based on the info that they gave. As far as I can tell, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it looks like. So
You're not reading Chinese.
yes, I don't know Chinese. This one is, for example, calibrated and precise in both directions, but it's needless for that torque range. But another interesting thing that we have here is I made a video about this set. If I don't forget, I'll put that video in this video's description. So decent set for fixing electronics and everything is of good quality, but the markings are awful. You cannot read them, you cannot tell which is which. You have to really pay close attention to the tips themselves. These letters are practically invisible, and that was my main complaint about this set. And that's when I saw this other set on TEMU. I got this for free. I didn't pay for this, so I got this for free, and they wanted me to make a display on my native channel. Anyway, so when I see this, look at these marks. It's beautiful in color coding, and you can easily read everything. The rest is worse quality, I would say. Screwdriver bit holder is poor quality. It does have this extendable bit, which can be practical, but it's too flimsy, and this is crappy compared to the iFixit model. But the prices are, this is about $30 if memory serves me, and this though with the matching set that I showed in the other video, is about $70 to $80. So considering that you get many more parts extra, it's this is not much cheaper, but I would pay more for this if they did this thing right. I really like how they did this. The bit quality, I'm yet to test it. iFixit has good bit quality, and I will test this, but I love the color coding. So that's something to consider. And for when I've tested the bits, maybe this will be useful. I will put this at my home, leave this for the workshop, and see how it fares, in a few years time. But generally,
maybe if you use it only few time of years,
if the bits are not too crappy and they don't look like that, it should work. It should work. So there are ways to save money. This is a good example. Let's show this. So for taking hoses through the frame with internal housing. Let's see, where did it hide? Did we drop it?
it's possible, yeah.
We might have dropped it. Okay, this is because we are recording. So I bought this very cheaply on TEMU. Got four of those, so you can screw in two parts of hose and then use the old hose to pull a new one in through the frame. That was very cheap, and this
is here.
This one was about 10 times more expensive, and for just one piece, and it's basically doing the same job. Sure, this one has finer thread and it's designed for hydraulic hosing primarily, while this one has coarser thread and it seems to have a bigger range of diameters that it can work with. But and I must say, I haven't tested these yet, these just arrived, but the price difference is huge, and for home use I would consider getting this on the cheap and giving it a try, even though I would recommend not using internal routed frames.
Fully.
It's devil's work. And so
this, maybe if it's bad metal quality, maybe when you are working with
it can break off.
Yeah.
We need to test it. So a bit of a reserve, but for some things this is surprisingly good for a surprisingly low price, for example.
Yeah, of course.
So, and this is so not the highest quality of steel. The hardness, I have some made by Unior, and they are a lot more expensive. Only one, not just the set. Only one is a lot more expensive than this whole set. This whole set cost about,
I forgot,
€2, $3.
Below €2, I think.
Okay,
or something about
$2. $2,
Yeah,
something like that. And Unior's only one of these costs a lot more, but they have a higher quality. But you use this in the shop and they work.
Yeah,
they get
every day. Yeah.
They are getting worn more quickly,
but I abuse it also, so I don't care.
Yeah, so
they was cheap, so I don't care.
Yeah, so it has its pros. They are doing the job. This is what I wanted to also discuss, the screwdrivers comparison. So this is a vessel screwdriver, and for Japanese cross-threaded, cross-tipped screws like Phillips or JIS, I have an article and video about that also for the video's description, if you don't forget. So this is probably the best one in the world that you can get. Vera also makes awesome ones. They are close match. Not sure which is better, but maybe slight advantage to this one. Anyway, so this one costs relatively a lot of money, and this one costs about $1, something like that. Yeah.
No, below.
Less than $1.
Half dollar maybe.
So you can get
80 cents.
and it has two. So the differences are there, and
Of
this
course.
will work for tuning your derailleur if you're careful and you're working slowly and just have one or two bicycles to service once per season.
I use this very rarely because quality, yes, but it's small enough, so it's
Sometimes you need it.
Yeah. I can't with this one because it's too big, and with this, the small one, I can get anywhere. So.
But ordering a shorter one from Vessel or even from Vera would cost about $10-20. I would have to Google it, and this is less than $1 or something.
Yeah, and
like
I can
that.
use the quality bits here.
You can you can exchange bits for higher quality bits, so it will get the job done.
Yeah.
So there are options, and it's definitely how do I say, when you hold the tool like this in your hand, the quality,
You know, it's a good tool. Yeah.
the fact that someone thought, okay, I want this bird so that you can use it quickly without slipping when your hands are greasy. So some thought, some design went into this. The steel is hard, the quality is good. This is used daily in a bicycle shop, busy, so you can see the tip is still top notch. It's not worn, it's not damaged. So it is a good quality tool, but we are often not in a position to afford high quality tools, and sometimes you need cheaper tools to get the job done, to make money, to get better tools and everything. And so
And sometimes we just want to try.
sometimes for a
Just for
small
fun.
price, just for fun. So it's not something to be completely disregarded. And as far as I'm concerned, I would very much prefer for everything to be made in my country, so that I can go and buy things that are made by my countrymen in my country. But unfortunately, I don't see that happening ever again. And so we're working with what we have, and there are different choices. And I cannot say that this is sold by a US company, but it's made in China by the same guys that made this. It only differs how much profit who makes and the quality control and things like that. But I'm sure that the owners of this company could have arranged with the Chinese who manufacture this to clearly mark the, oh yeah, we have that for small parts and things in the box forgot. And these
You
are
wanna play guitar?
the picks for playing guitar or for opening electrical those small plastic cases for laptops and
Not to break your nails.
Yeah, so you don't break your nails. So the manufacturer of this, for example, they could have, in my opinion, should have. I would have paid more for having a color coding and nice clear marks. So things like that, you are always. Most of the things are made in China today. So it just depends on how much money who wants to make, and the quality control and what kind of business arrangement they make with the people in China who make this. So basically, and so there are choices, things to consider, and everyone should decide for themselves, by themselves, what's best. And
You can gamble, you can buy from China for cheap, or you can go for something that is proven.
yeah,
Through
tried and
years.
tested the
Yeah,
brands
yeah,
that
yeah.
are tested. Yeah, that's one option. For this is $200 if you get generally roughly, and it is good quality. It does have downsides, and it is something that I joke about this tool, that it's something that a grandfather will give to his grandson, but not just because it's very durable, but also because the markings are so small that the grandfather can no longer read them. So
Yeah, when you pass 50 years, you
yeah,
already take it.
yeah, so that's it. So I hope this video was at least a little bit informative and helpful to anyone. That was the main idea when making this, to share this information that we have and our experience. And I'm also interested to hear your feedback, your recommendations, and see about if you know any good deals for cheap tools that are good. I'm looking for a good vice nowadays. So let me know in the comments or on the BikeGremlin.net forum. And that's the whole video, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. You can try if you have money to spend. If you want to spend, you can buy some cheap tools just to check them out. or you can always go and buy the good stuff. But you can sometimes find tools that are not too expensive and quite good for maybe your shop or your home or whatever.
Surprisingly good for the price, like this one.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so it happens. It happens.
Sometimes.
Okay, that's thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in some other video. Stay cool.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ide ona odjevna špica gdje pakamo papire.
Šuške, šuške.